And the first thing we're going to go over right now is we are going to talk about what is eRead Illinois. So eRead Illinois is a shared e-content collection of over 64,000 ebooks and audiobooks. We do add materials to the collection on a weekly basis, so it is constantly being updated. That shared collection is shared among all different library types in the Rails service area. So it includes public libraries, school libraries, special libraries, and academic libraries. The bulk of the membership is kind of split evenly between public libraries and school libraries. And we did have a significant increase in school libraries that signed up in 2020 and 2021 with the pandemic and uncertainty about remote learning. And so we have added items to the collection to address that sort of influx of school library users. Membership is opt-in. It is open to all Rails libraries. If you're a Rails library, you're welcome to join eRead Illinois. You do have to subscribe to it, and there is a fee, an annual subscription fee associated with it. I'll get into that a little bit later. It is not something that you automatically have as part of your Rails membership, but you can elect to join eRead if you would like. So once you do join eRead, how do your users access the content that's available? That is through the Access 360 website or app. Access 360 is an e-content platform, which is developed by our vendor partner, Baker & Taylor. That website and that app is compatible with most devices, including Chromebooks. The in-browser reader in the Access 360 website is very, very friendly, works really well with Chromebooks. The only device that you're not going to be able to get Access 360 ebooks on are sort of simple Kindles, like Paperwhites and stuff like that, but everything else you should be able to read Access 360 ebooks on. If your school uses Follett Destiny as its ILS, there is a sort of total integration where you can add those Access 360 books directly into your Follett Destiny catalog. So students will be able to, search, browse, check out, download, and read those ebooks directly in Destiny. So that's an option for you as well if you're a Destiny user. As far as the circulation of materials goes in eRead, most of the materials are one book, one user. This is pretty standard with public library ebooks, and that's kind of what the eRead Illinois program is modeled after. If there is an item that you would like to check out and somebody else has it, you can place that item on hold. You can have up to 5 items checked out at a time, and you can have up to 5 holds at a time. And we do try to keep a pretty low holds ratio. So for every 5th person that places a hold on an item, we will purchase an additional copy of that item. And that's to keep the wait times as low as possible for users. So in terms of what is in the collection, the eRead Illinois Access 360 collection is a popular materials collection, meaning that we focus on items that are in demand, like bestsellers. It's going to be a lot of things that you would choose to read for fun. I get a couple of pretty common questions from school libraries and school librarians. One of them is, can I limit the content that students can access? And the answer is yes, you can. So again, it is a collection where we purchase materials with all library types in mind. So we are purchasing content for adults all the way through preschoolers. And so if you're a school library and you don't want your students to have access to adult content, you can use the Access 360 scoping tool, and you can use that to limit what is in the collection, what is available in the collection to your users. So you can scope items out based on the audience level that's been assigned to that item. You can scope materials out based on the subject headings. You can do it by author or all the way down to the title level. You have a lot of control over what your students can access in the collection. Another common question I get is, can I add more content to the collection? And the answer is also yes. You can join something called the Unbound program. And what that does is that allows you to purchase material that's just available to your users. And so we get a lot of school libraries who employ the Unbound program to purchase things like additional copies if they want a classroom set of something, or even additional titles that maybe don't fit into sort of the scope of our collection, of the shared collection. Say your students are doing like a research project and you want to get a whole bunch of titles on one particular topic, you can do that with an Unbound collection. And then it doesn't look any different to your users, to your students. The items show up in Access 360. They're just not available to the wider shared audience. And then say you said that all sounds great. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how to sign up for eRead, but one thing I got kind of the steps laid out for you right here. It's 5 steps to get going with the eRead Illinois program. The one thing that I do want to mention about this slide, that the eRead Illinois website, eReadIllinois.com, is sort of your one-stop shop for any information you need about the program, about eRead Illinois. If you wanted to join, you would go to eReadIllinois.com/join, and there's a form that you fill out in order to get going. Like I mentioned, kind of at the start, there is an annual subscription fee to be a member of eRead Illinois. You can find more information about those fees on the eRead Illinois website. I've got the link up there on the screen. The fees are going to be different depending on your population served, your collection budget, things like that. So for more information, I highly recommend going to the eRead Illinois website to check that out. The eRead Illinois website is also a fantastic resource in terms of finding additional support materials. You can find instructions, you can find user guides, you can find information for sort of the admin side of things, how to scope information, how to scope titles out of the collection. You can also find marking materials and stuff like that on the eRead Illinois website. So I wanted to make sure I highlight that for you and stress that as a resource if you're interested in eRead Illinois. If you maybe already are a member of eRead Illinois, and so far my presentation has been a total snooze fest because you already know everything, I do want to point out a couple of ways that you can get the most out of eRead Illinois, sort of more that you can do with it. We do host webinars about eRead Illinois, about Access 360, about the collection. We've got one coming up. It is Scoping eRead Illinois Access 360 for Schools. I'm going to be joined by a specialist from Baker and Taylor, and she's going to go step by step through the process of how to scope titles in or out of the collection. There's 2 sessions, August 30th to September 1st. It's the same presentation, 2 different days. We just wanted to offer it, you know, as often as we needed to, for as many people to join as possible. So be sure to visit L2 to sign up for that. You can also make suggestions for the shared collection. I've got a link up there. We do try to incorporate as many suggestions into the shared collection as we can from our users. So if there's something you think we should have in that collection that you don't see, please feel free to make a suggestion. And I also recommend signing up for the eRead Illinois Access 360 newsletter. We send it out quarterly, and it's sort of the best way to stay up to date with news and reminders about the program. So please feel free to do that. So that's eRead Illinois. I am very quickly going to talk about Inky.org and what Inky.org is, and then I will hand it back to Dan. So Inky.org. This is another e-content program that I work on here at Rails. It's a little different than eRead. Inky.org is a website. And on that website, if you were to type in Inky.org into your browser and go there right now, you're going to find access to a few resources. One is a way to create ebooks, to create ebook files using a software called Pressbooks. So what Pressbooks is you can take something that you've written in like a Word document or a Google Doc, you can import it into Pressbooks, make it look like a book, and then export that file as an ebook. So you can essentially self-publish things that you've written. The projects can be shared, they can be worked on collaboratively. So if you have a class that's doing like a poetry collection or essays, you know, you can have them work together and then export an ebook file with all of their work in it. Inky.org also includes, it's a pipeline for inclusion into library e-content platforms. You also have the option of taking that ebook file that you've created and submitting it to be included into a library ebook collection through something called the Indie Author Project. All the information you need on how to do that is on the website, Inky.org. Inky.org also provides you access to something called the Inky.org library, which is an e-content platform of, it's primarily of self-published ebooks by Illinois authors. So people who have taken things that they've written, created ebook files with Pressbooks, and then self-published them. They've made them available in the Inky.org library. So anybody in the state of Illinois can access that ebook platform and read any of those books. So it's a great way to kind of like self-publish and then get your work out there. The Inky.org library also includes a collection of e-content that's been created by other libraries, things like yearbook collections, stuff like that. It's a really fun e-content platform to browse. And so I really recommend hopping on that website and checking it out. If you would like to add Inky.org. It's unlike eRead. You don't need to sign up for it. There is no subscription fee. You already have access to this. You just need to be in the state of Illinois. You just need to take that website, inky.org, add it to your list of resources, add it to your website, and you've already done it. You've got it. So pretty easy, pretty cool to check. I recommend checking it out. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about, that's my email address. We're right there on the screen. Feel free to reach out to me. And I think I did it. I got it in 10 minutes. So I'm